Welcome back. This is the part 2 to my 10-pound winter survival kit from Prepared Mind 101, Chris Tanner. I think it's an excellent idea to do this. I've been trying to cut weight on my kit, and they have a limit of only 10 pounds. You bring what you need and nothing else. So I'm just going to walk into my wild camp. I've been debating if I should do this little camp out there or my overnight challenge. I think it's the best idea just in case I do have to tap out and jump in my shelter and, use some of the extra gear I brought just in case. Alright, let's walk in and see how she looks. So I have decided to stay at my shelter area. Everything you see right here, I will not be touching if everything goes according to plan. The tap-out bag right there, none of that wood already cut down or the shelter that's broken down, poorly designed. My 10-pound kit is right here. Once I sweep away some of the snow with a stick, I will weigh it again and lay it down in front of you. And then I'll weigh my tap-out bag, because in my tap-out bag I brought 1 liter of water with other things. I'll show you what's inside in a second. So here's my wrap for the digital scale again. I'll try to figure out how to do this so you can see. Find it branch. Here, we'll do it up here. It's all zeroed out. £9, 1 ounce, or 9 pounds right on the dot. That's because I pulled out my knife right away as soon as I got into the bush, as soon as I started hiking. So now we'll weigh the tap-out kit. And it is reading at 20 pounds, 8 ounces. So I was just thinking about it, and I could probably be disqualified for coming somewhere familiar, because in a survival situation, you won't be in a familiar area at all. I could give off a few excuses for why I came back to the wild camp area. 1, I'm allowed to be on this property. 2, I don't think they would appreciate if I had fires all over their property. I'm sure it does some damage to the surrounding areas. Maybe it's actually good for it, because I've been told forest fires are good for the forest every once in a while. Yeah, so as you see where I cleaned out the area over here, that's where I will be setting up my lean-to super shelter. I will have a small fire this afternoon just to fill up my water bottle and have enough water to cook my ramen noodles tonight for supper, and coffees and teas and so on and so forth. And then just stockpiling lumber because I want to have hopefully a upside down fire tonight that'll last a fair bit of the night and won't have to get up too much to feed it. So I forgot to explain the rules. Rules are that you have to have a 10-pound limit on your gear. I've got that. And then it has to be below or 32 Fahrenheit and 0 Celsius. So I will check my phone right now and we'll see what the temperature is. -3 feels like -8 in Duff, Saskatchewan. The overnight is supposed to be -4, -5, and in the morning it's actually cooler, all the way up to -7. So we'll go from there. If there's any other rules I'm forgetting, oops. I actually think this might work. Take you on a little better look of it. Once I get that plastic sheet into the front of it and taped down and have my fire, I'll probably have it right here. And just take out those rocks and move them all around or whatnot. But yeah, I think this is going to work real well. Well, I'm going to put my winter jacket back on and take a few seconds to myself, then start collecting firewood. Continue gathering firewood, and once I get a fair bit, I will turn you back on. So I've been busy collecting firewood for the past half an hour, 45 minutes. This is what I got so far. I think it's sufficient, hopefully for tonight. I'm still going to collect some more, but I need to start processing it and collecting snow for water. I really should have brought a liter of water. Alright, so there's some of my gear. Once I get the fire going and process some wood and stuff like that, I will show you what my EDC was for today and go through the contents once more and go through the contents of my tap-out bag. So I'm going to start processing this firewood. I was thinking of an upside down fire, and I'm still going to go through with that. I'm just wondering the length of it. If I should have it the full length of the SOL sports utility blanket or half of it. I'm thinking a third of it or a half for sure. And probably about let's say 6, maybe 7 feet away from my shelter. Alright, now you get to watch me cut firewood. So I just ran out into the bush, and I'm always looking for trees with the tops broken off that are, the bottom are still there but it's all dead, and this is what I came up with. So you can tell that these have been dead for maybe a few years even. I'm pretty sure this is a white poplar or balsam poplar, not 100%. I know it's one of the two. And the bigger one, this one had to be cut, but it's completely dead. This one, it's a little bit of pushing, and she broke right out. That's punky as hell, but she'll burn. So I think that I'll have enough firewood. So I'm going to process this quickly and safely, And then I am going to break down the smaller branches for a small fire to melt some water. Because all that work has got me dehydrated. Very much so. And once we get the snow melting, we'll go through some of my stuff that I brought. So, we're sitting down having a break. I just finished cutting all that firewood for tonight. I think it'll be good. I'll show you an image in a little bit. First, I'll show you my tap out kit. So this is my Mountain Equipment Co-op 65 liter Trail Motion. Up in the brain, the lid, is my complete first aid. This weighs about 15 ounces, like a pound. This is what should have been included into the 10 pounds, absolutely. I think first aid's really important. Yeah. Then as we go into the pack, there's a canteen, 1 liter of water. I am purged right now. I'm so thirsty. This is horrible. I have my MSR pocket rocket and my Primus power gas. And I just made this. It's a beer cozy, one of those Mylar beer cozies. Well, a couple of them all taped together with Gorilla Tape. I have the same thing for my battery charger. Someone told me to do that. Well, gave me the advice. So on the inside, I'm not going to pull it out. There is the 90% wool blanket, a ridge rest, and on the very bottom is my -12 mummy bag. And my fishing scale was in the pouch in the front. So that's what that's my tap. That's where my mistake was. You should always have some sort of a first aid kit. Speaking of first aid, why I wasn't able to do my trip when I wanted to. I think I was planning to do it on November 25th. Well, 2 weeks before that, I went in for a minor operation to have a mole removed. It was changing colors and had a halo around it on my lower back, on the stretch point, just above the waistline. And so 2 weeks before, I had it removed, and the day before I was going to come out and do this, I popped a stitch and it opened back up. So I had to go back in and get restitched, and even right now I've got a band-aid over it and it's all stitched up. I haven't got the stitches removed. But I feel confident enough that it's fully healed enough to come out and do something like this. It's not that I'm going to be doing somersaults and backflips. Just cut a little firewood, collect some snow, and camp. So that's my excuse for not doing it when I said I was going to. I would have rather gone then with the fresh snow. Now there's coyote tracks, rabbit tracks. You can see piss stains in the grass, in the snow. Sorry, I always forget to turn this thing on. I get focused into what I'm doing. I'm not trying to make a feather stick. I'm trying to make thin wood curls, just as my kindling. We're in the middle of nowhere. There's lots of game close by. But I never really thought too much of it. And with the recent events that's been going on overseas or even in America, you know, stuff's getting crazy nowadays. I'm only a young guy. I'm only 30 years old, you know. And it seems in the past 15 years, since 2000, or 2001, you know, stuff's gone crazy. I should just shut my mouth and keep on making these shavings. So I still got to go look for good snow. I'd hate to do all this work and then use my tap out bag for water. And you know, we have like a trace amount of snow. It's kind of unusual for this part of Canada, well, Saskatchewan even, you could say, more local, that in the beginning of December it's only -3 or 0 out right now. I'll check my phone in a second about the actual temperature. You know, it's very hot, and there's barely any snow. I've lived in Saskatchewan now for 7 years, and I have never experienced it this nice. A couple of years ago, I think it was 2012, so it was 3 years. 3 years ago. I was snowmobiling at this time. You know, there was 3 feet of snow. Well, my knees are getting wet, and I didn't want that. So I hope that's enough. We'll see. And if shit goes south, I do have those matches. So this is a cotton ball impregnated with wax on this little piece of dry bark I found. Here we go. There we go. Put the knife away. Yeah, I'll move you around like this. There we go. Well, that's burning down. I gotta try to improvise a pot hanger here. I hate to collect a bunch of snow and have it. It's not work. There we go. Maybe with a little bit of luck that will I won't lose all my water and put my fire out. Move you back. go. Heard me struggling there for a second as you were pointing towards the fire. I've had this Pathfinder clean canteen or Nalgene type deal, stainless steel thing for a bit now, over a year, well over a year, and I can't get the lid off. I don't know if it's from the cold or all that sawing has ruined my arm, but she's not even budging. Has anyone else had this problem before? Holy shit. I can't do it. I'll have to think of something else, but I gotta keep the fire going. Maybe if I can leverage the bandana around it, it might work. I don't know. Some spit shine maybe. Oh my god. That is serious. Pathfinder store, Mr. Dave Canterbury. Great product, but my lid sucks. Or maybe it's the bottle has a bend in it or something on the teeth. I'm not sure. But that sucks. But like I said, I've had it for over a year, so my plan is to get this water hot to a boil, then dump it into my cup here that has a little bit of snow, and then I'll keep on adding snow to that, and yeah. Well, my water in my coffee cup is getting warm, so I can pour it into my snow-filled canteen. I'm going to put this clear plastic onto my shelter. I really wasn't paying attention. I should have. The wind's blowing this way, so smoke's coming right here. Without this, or even with this, I still might get a heavy dose of smoke all night. But at least I'll be warm. Like I said, I'm a smoker, so I got those real tarred up nasty lungs to protect me. Gorilla tape. Is there anything I can't do? It's 3:48 in the afternoon, early evening. I'm just going to turn it off airplane mode and we'll see what the temperature is. Alright, I think that water is ready to get poured in. Here, I'll move it down. That's awesome. This thing's almost full already. Don't get me wrong, I still got a way to go, but to start. Now once the cup cools down, I'll fill that with snow and so on and so forth. So with this super shelter that I've built, it's gonna do the trick a little bit, I guess, but I didn't bring enough plastic out to close off that one side. So whatever gets reflected in, yes, some will stay in, but there's a great big opening right here. I don't know. Trying to think of ideas to close that up quickly. We'll figure it out. No big deal. So I'm processed a bunch of snow into water. I have enough for supper and coffee, and that's what I'm about to make right now. This is a Organo Gold premium black coffee, or sorry, gourmet black coffee. I'll put a link to the distributor. Stuff's amazing, really good. So I got water heating, other water heating. This is some of the wood that I processed for tonight. They're 2-foot logs and sticks and branches. And then this is my upside down fire. Once I'm done eating and process a little bit more water for throughout the night, I will let this fire burn all the way out and transfer this wood over there, but probably about a foot back. And earlier on, as I was shooting, I said I forgot to tell you something. I got sidetracked, and it was to give the current temperature. And we'll check. It says +1. Uh-oh. Am I disqualified? But it feels like -3. So, There, it shows the current time, 4:21. Today is, what's today's date? Wednesday, December 2nd. It might be +1, but it says it feels like -3 with the wind chill. So, disqualify me if you want. So I let the water cool down a little bit. It's still steaming like a son of a gun. Mixed up my Oregano Gold gourmet black coffee. Sales pitch. Oh my god. You know, it might be +1 out right now, but the sun going down, it's cold. I wouldn't say, well, I guess it's near freezing, but it's, after you're done cutting all the firewood and running all around, and, you know, that's how you keep warm, is continuously moving and using your muscles and stuff. But you sit down for a few minutes and you're a little chilly, but warm coffee will keep you warm. So I'm just about to eat some supper here. Let the fire burn out. I got some more snow melting in my canteen. And I just wanted to give a statement saying that, you know, I'm a student of bushcraft and I'm a beginner at survival and prepping. But I also believe that a lot of it comes hand in hand. Without some of the knowledge of survival, you can't bushcraft. You can't bushcraft without survival. And preparing yourself with the equipment or with the knowledge goes hand with survival and bushcraft. So I think it's all kind of mixed in together. And for me, bushcraft is an escape to nature. I love nature and camping, and that's essentially what bushcraft is learning how to use the elements of nature to camp. And there's nothing better than that. Well, maybe a warm bed right now, but it will, I think it'll work good with this upside down fire. I'm sure it'll take a while for all that wood to burn down and the stockpile I got behind me. And if I go through it I'm all out of wood by 3 o'clock in the morning, I've got a headlamp and a saw. I know that's not the smartest or the safest thing to do, but this is a survival challenge. So I'm going to eat my ramen noodles now and quit boring you to death. So I got my upside down fire in the position I want it. This is one of those fast fire cubes. I just broke off a little bit more just in case it goes for tomorrow morning. I'm going to use one of these store matches. I'm not going to light any of my fires by the lighter if I don't have to. So I'm going to keep on feeding the fire on top until it's going pretty good. And then the way it's supposed to work is that you have a nice little fire on top and it works its way down through a period of a few hours. Hopefully a little longer than that. I'm not sure what time it is right now, but I know it can't be past 5:20. Well, I shouldn't say it can't be, but I don't think it is. The strike pad back in there. Matches away. Well, I'm gonna put a little bit bigger stuff on now. good set of ambers to fall through each level to get the next log going. I think that's at least the principle of this. Oh yeah, I was going to check the time, sorry. Yeah, 5:18. Well, I'm not sure how well you guys can see, but so I started up here, and you can see how it's glowing down under here, and eventually it'll be glowing all the way down to the bottom. So I believe it's working. It's just about 6 now. It's registering at -2 Celsius, whatever that is in the Fahrenheit. Periodically throughout the night in the super shelter, I have this little, I don't know if you can get it, but it's a thermometer. So every once in a while throughout the night, when I wake up to put more wood on, I will turn on the camera and we'll film how warm the shelter is. So I'm in my shelter. I wanted to see how it is and test out how warm it's getting. Now on my phone, it states it's -1. Inside my shelter on this cheap thermometer, don't get like, it's probably not the best, most accurate, but I would say it's close to 14 degrees in here. Now it's still very early. I'm just got in to try it up to see if I'm going to make it or not. But if I can keep up on the fire, I think we'll do pretty good. Well, it's 10:30. I just put on a few more logs. Just about to go to bed. I actually had to pull out the schmog. Wrap my neck with it real good. It's yeah, this SOL bivy bag worked really well, but is there ever a lot of condensation in there? I'm glad I brought the wool blanket, if not I've been swimming by morning. But yeah, the shelter got down to 5 degrees in here, and before I put more wood on. So I think it's working sufficiently, but I think I'll be waking up a few times tonight to stocking the fire. Well, my wife's saying goodnight, so I will see you guys later on. It's 2:06 a.m. -2, clear night, feels like -8. I woke up absolutely shivering and frozen. The fire went out probably a while ago, so I got the fire going again, and just trying to keep warm. This bivy bag, the condensation in there, holy shit! It's almost dangerous. You know, getting all wet, then going out into the cold. Oh fuck! Excuse my language. If I get much colder than this, I'm definitely tapping out of safety reasons. I think I only have enough firewood to last me until about maybe 6 o'clock, and that's stretching it pretty good. I think to build a good survival kit, you have to do the practical to see what you are missing and what you actually need. I know after this, I'll definitely be reconstructing what I take out into the bush when it gets cold, or what I travel with
You know, this is what you should do. This is the practical sense of it. Well, it's warming up in here a fair bit now.
Good morning.
Feels good.
It's close to 9 o'clock. It's -2 right now. I made it through tonight, obviously. I tapped out at 4 o'clock this morning, around 4 o'clock. I was just shaking and shaking and shaking, frozen to the core. So I grabbed my tap out bag and grabbed my other wool blanket, my sleeping bag, and nestled in real nice and warm. I am a little bit embarrassed about not being able to complete this challenge. You know, being a student of bushcraft and learning different survival techniques, you know, you're gonna have failures every once in a while, and where you have to grab your extra wool blanket and sleeping bag. My thoughts on it is that those survive outdoors longer little bivy bags are dangerous. The amount of condensation that I had in mine, I was wet when I woke up, and then to jump out into sub-zero weather to grab your other stuff cools you down even more. That's dangerous. I do not recommend those. Spend a little extra money and get the escape bivy, the breathable one. I've never even tried one, so maybe I shouldn't say that, but I'm going to purchase one and test it out. Well, just cleaned up camp, and I'm gonna head home and have a really big hot coffee and some warm food. Well, I'm on my hike out. I like to call it the walk of shame. You know, coming out here and trying to do this, it proves to me that I'm not at the skill set that I want to be at. So, I've learned from this, and I'm going to do this again in a few months, probably around February, and